Thank you all for listening and watching my videos. Please subscribe and like my channel Master Coolitz. Hoping that you will not skip my ads. It's a big help for me by not skipping it. Thank you so much. Dragon Shadow. The Rise.
More than half a month had slipped by. In that span, Elora, Katie, Gabriel Stone, Caleb Pierce, Eric Helm, and others frequently visited Zane Martel's bedside. Yet, despite their hopes and their countless visits, Zane Martel lay unmoving, his eyes shut tight against the world. They couldn't help but feel a pang of pity, a gnawing sense of helplessness each time they saw him. But then, one day, a spark of change flickered. In the depths of Zane Martel's mind, a ball of pale blue energy began to tremble, shivering with an unspoken power. This energy ball was his willpower, a force often spoken of in hushed tones. The larger it grew, the stronger one's willpower became. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The willpower energy ball trembled more violently. Suddenly, a crack appeared at its core, snaking outward and splitting it in two. This rare phenomenon was known in some circles of martial arts as a willpower mutation, a transformation so scarce it occurred in only 1 out of a million. But this mutation wasn't over. The two balls quivered again, emitting a relentless buzz. Another crack formed, and more than half a day later, the two had become 4. The transformation continued, relentless and unstoppable. After an entire day, Zane Martel's willpower energy had fragmented into 8 small balls, each no bigger than a thumb, hovering with ominous potential. A sudden terrifying suction force exploded from these energy balls, spreading through Zane Martel's entire being. Madame Evelyn had ensured that medicinal pills, potent with willpower-enhancing properties, were sent to Zane Martel daily. These spiritual elixirs were swiftly absorbed by the energy balls, which greedily drank in their power like a parched earth drinking in rain. The balls expanded, now actively drawing in the surrounding vital energy, a life force that permeated the air. The willpower energy balls grew voracious, their hunger insatiable. Within moments, they devoured every bit of vital energy in the room, then burst outward, shattering doors and windows, pulling in energy from the entire Dark Wolf Hall, even from the whole of Wolf City. In the sky above, rich vital energy swirled into a reverse funnel, rushing toward Zane Martel, feeding his growing power. The 8 energy balls swelled, now as large as his original willpower energy ball. Alarmed by this strange phenomenon, martial artists from across the city hurried to Zane Martel's room.
Zane Martel!
Zane Martel, are you awake?
Elora, Katie, Eric Helm, and the others rushed in, their hearts pounding with hope. But their excitement quickly turned to disappointment. Zane Martel lay still as before, the room quiet now that the devouring had ceased. They left, their hopes dashed, leaving the room just as empty as they had found it. Suddenly, a cough broke the silence. They whirled around, eyes wide, and rushed back to his side.
Zane Martel, you're finally awake!
How long have I been out?
More than a month.
1 month.
Zane Martel's brow furrowed. He remembered collapsing in Elora's arms, but everything afterward was a blank. It felt as if something had torn him apart, dividing him into several pieces.
This is a...
He looked around, noticing that his vision was clearer, sharper. The world seemed to glow with vibrant colors. He could see the tiny particles of dust and droplets of water in the air, and even the smallest flakes of skin. What did this newfound clarity mean for Zane Martel? What powers had he awakened? The answers and the mysteries of his willpower mutation were just beginning to unfold. Zane Martel's pupils sharpened, honing in on the details around him. Astonishingly, he could see the ants crawling on a tree trunk hundreds of meters away. Not just their movement, but their organs and even their tiny patterns. He could even distinguish their gender. Thud. The revelation was so shocking that Zane Martel slumped to the ground, overwhelmed.
What's happening? My eyes?
Elora and the others exchanged worried glances.
Zane Martel, what's wrong? You're scaring us!
It took a while, but Zane Martel finally steadied himself, accepting the startling changes.
Please, can you all give me a moment? I just woke up, and I'm a bit tired. I need to rest.
Let us know if you need anything.
They nodded, casting lingering looks of concern before leaving the room. Alone, Zane Martel fetched a basin of water. He removed his forehead guard and peered into the reflective surface. The sight that greeted him was bewildering. There, in the center of his forehead, was a vertical eye. Two stark white lines ran down from top to bottom, giving it an eerie, almost spectral appearance.
It seems like this change in my vision is because of this eye.
Zane Martel realized that this vertical eye must have been activated the last time he had unintentionally used its power, plunging him into unconsciousness.
I don't know if this is good or bad, but at least I can see. I can even see things in the distance with this forehead guard on. Not bad.
He attempted a smile, trying to reassure himself in the face of this strange development.
Can I trigger that black and white world again?
Zane Martel was haunted by the memory of that strange, monochromatic level. In it, everything except for himself had frozen, stripped of time and color. If he could pull enemies into this colorless world, he could wield the power to determine their fate with ease. Zane Martel's thoughts raced. Suddenly, the world around him began to sharpen, clarity flooding his vision. Swoosh! His willpower drained rapidly, leaving his head heavy. But then, within a 1-meter radius, the world around him lost all color, transforming into that eerie black and white level.
Incredible. The vertical eye can create this colorless world.
Ecstatic, Zane Martel realized that his strength had grown immensely, but there was a catch.
The willpower this consumes is too terrifying. I used up half of it in just a few seconds. I can only use the colorless world when absolutely necessary.
He murmured to himself, contemplating the newfound power and its implications. Word of Zane Martel's awakening spread quickly, and Madame Evelyn declared it a miracle. Only 1 in 10,000 survived a willpower mutation. People who cared for him flocked to his room, bringing with them warmth and a renewed sense of community. After a few days of rest, Zane Martel felt revitalized. His strength had returned, and he ventured out to patrol the Dark Wolf Hall. It had been a month and a half since the destruction of the Godwill sect. The disciples were back to training in every corner of the Dark Wolf Hall. Clad in black iron armor, weapons in hand, they radiated a divine aura and a fierce determination that shook the very ground. As Zane Martel gazed at the training warriors, he couldn't help but wonder what challenges lay ahead. How would his newfound powers shape his future, and what dangers lurked just beyond the horizon? The next chapter promises answers and revelations. Join us as Zane Martel delves deeper into his mysterious abilities and faces the trials that will test his very soul. What awaits him in the shadows? In the shadowy confines of the Dark Wolf Hall, the air hung heavy with the scent of incense and the whispers of fate. Here, levels intertwined, from the lowly level of body tempering to the mystical foundation level. Disciples moved with purpose, their gazes fierce, their determination palpable. But amid the bustling ranks of these warriors, one thing stood out starkly. Every single disciple was a member of the demon clan, their eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light, their destinies intertwined with the ancient secrets of their bloodline. No humans walked these hallowed halls, no mortals mingled with the supernatural. It was a sanctuary, a place of preparation for what lay ahead.
Aren't you curious about them?
Zane Martel turned, his face etched with surprise and confusion. Behind him stood Klain, a figure of wisdom and authority, his eyes reflecting the burdens of many untold stories.
Master Klain.
Zane Martel greeted him with hands cupped in respect, a gesture steeped in tradition and reverence. His mind swirled with questions, memories foggy from his recent coma.
What happened while I was unconscious? Did anything happen in Dark Wolf Hall?
Klain's smile was cryptic, his gaze drifting to the training disciples who moved with a disciplined grace. There was a story here, one of discovery and purpose, one that Zane Martel was only beginning to unravel.
You've been in a coma for a long time, Zane Martel. Much has changed. We found our purpose after finding Her Highness.
Zane Martel's heart skipped a beat. Her Highness? Purpose? His thoughts raced, piecing together fragments of conversations and whispers he had heard.
Purpose? Are you planning to return to Northern Demon Country?
Yes, Zane Martel. We will go there and reclaim the royal family and the glory of the three-tailed spirit fox tribe. Thus, we have established the Dark Wolf Army.
A surge of energy coursed through Zane Martel's veins, his body trembling as if struck by lightning. The Dark Wolf Army was a beacon, a force destined to carve its name into the annals of history.
The Dark Wolf Army. We're finally going to the Northern Demon Country, Father. Wait for me. I'll bring our people to save you soon.
Yet a question gnawed at him, one that demanded an answer, one that clouded the clarity of his mission.
But why are there only Demon Clan members and no humans?
This is a battle within the Demon Clan of the Northern Demon Country. The sect leader does not wish to involve humans. Moreover, Dark Wolf Hall has just become one of the top 3 forces in Eastern Jin. If most of our Demon Clan members left, other sects with evil intentions would see it as an opportunity to attack us. We must leave elders and disciples here to guard our home.
Zane Martel nodded, his thoughts aligning with Klain's reasoning. It made sense, a matter of honor and duty for the Demon Clan to handle their own conflicts.
I understand. It's only right for the Demon Clan to fight for their rights. But I have to go. My connection to the Demon Clan runs deep. Father is still in enemy hands, and I can't turn my back on this.
As if on cue, 2 figures emerged from the shadows, their presence breaking the tension. Eric Helm and Caleb Pierce, Zane Martel's trusted friends and allies, approached with a sense of urgency.
Zane Martel, Zane Martel.
Zane Martel turned, his curiosity piqued by their sudden arrival. He excused himself from Klain and followed them to the secluded back garden, a place of tranquility amidst the storm of events unfolding around them.
What's going on? You both look serious. What's the matter?
The garden was a serene contrast to the intensity of their conversation. Zane Martel settled onto a wooden chair, his gaze fixed on his friends, awaiting the revelation.
Zane Martel, since Dark Wolf Hall is planning to send troops to the Northern Demon Country, we figured we should also bid you farewell.
Zane Martel's heart sank. Farewell? Were they leaving? The thought struck him like a dagger, the bonds of camaraderie they had forged now threatened by the winds of destiny.
Farewell? Where are you 2 going? Are you not staying in Dark Wolf Hall?
Dark Wolf Hall is undoubtedly a large sect. However, I am not a disciple here. It's not appropriate for me to stay for too long. And remember, I told you I wanted to explore the world to find my own path.
Zane Martel lowered his head, the weight of understanding settling upon him. The world was vast, filled with endless possibilities and dangers. He knew that to grow, one must sometimes part ways with the familiar.
I get it. I support your decision. Just remember, you're my brother. If you ever need help, don't hesitate. I'll come for you, no matter where you are.
Thanks, Zane Martel. I don't regret becoming your friend. With you backing me up, I feel like I can conquer anything.
Of course. Ha ha ha.
Their laughter filled the garden, a moment of lightness in the midst of the gathering storm. But even as they celebrated their bond, the shadows of uncertainty loomed ever closer.
What about you, Caleb Pierce? What are your plans?
I'm leaving too. Here, take this invitation card. When you're powerful enough, open it and find me.
Caleb Pierce handed Zane Martel a red invitation card, its surface blank and mysterious. The weight of its potential was palpable, a promise of future adventures and unknown challenges. As Zane Martel held the card, the reality of their parting sank in. The path ahead was shrouded in uncertainty, each step a leap into the unknown. With the Dark Wolf Army poised to reclaim their homeland and his friends embarking on their own journeys, Zane Martel stood at the precipice of a new chapter in his life. In the heart of Dark Wolf Hall, Zane Martel held the red invitation card, a mysterious token from Caleb Pierce. He tried to channel his vital energy into it, his brow furrowed in concentration, but the card remained stubbornly closed, its secret sealed.
An invitation card? Why can't I open it?
The card, though seemingly simple, exuded an air of enigmatic power, defying Zane Martel's attempts to unveil its contents. His curiosity burned, a flame that would not be easily extinguished.
I'm leaving.
So soon? I thought we'd have drinks tonight, celebrate a bit.
No thanks, I have things to attend to, but I look forward to seeing you again. Farewell.
With a final, respectful gesture, Caleb Pierce cupped his fists and vanished into thin air, leaving behind a swirl of questions and a void of mystery.
Eric Helm. Don't you think Caleb Pierce is hiding something from us?
Oh, come on, you're one to talk. You've got way more secrets than he does. Don't go pointing fingers.
Zane Martell laughed off the accusation, shaking his head. Deciding to let the matter drop, he stashed the invitation card into his storage ring. The night wore on, and they made their way to a bustling pub in Wolf City, the air thick with the scent of ale and camaraderie. It was a farewell to Eric Helm, a celebration tinged with the bittersweet knowledge of impending separation. A month passed swiftly, and the day arrived for the Dark Wolf Army's grand departure. With 100,000 soldiers of the Demon Clan assembled, the scene was a spectacle of military might and unyielding determination. The streets of Wolf City trembled beneath the weight of marching feet and the roar of approval from gathered crowds. Above them, 70 flying shuttles filled the sky, casting long shadows over the assembled troops. Zane Martell stood on one of the shuttles, flanked by Elora and Gabriel Stone. His eyes scanned the horizon, the enormity of their journey dawning upon him. The northern demon country lay hundreds of thousands of kilometers away, a distant land of mystery and danger.
I can't believe we're really doing this. The Outraged Spirits Mountains hold such secrets. Who would have thought?
The revelation of the super long-distance transmission formation hidden within the Outraged Spirits Mountains had stunned him. The mountains, often whispered about in hushed tones, were not merely the domain of terrifying beasts. They were a gateway, a passage leading to the heart of the northern demon country. The wind whipped around him, each gust a promise of the trials and triumphs that lay ahead. Zane Martell felt an unprecedented surge of passion, the thrill of leading a formidable army into battle, his heart racing with anticipation. The sound of battle drums echoed through the sky, a thunderous heartbeat for the Dark Wolf Army. Below, 30,000 soldiers rode majestic beasts, 50,000 troops marched in perfect synchrony, and 20,000 elite warriors advanced with unyielding resolve. The earth trembled beneath their feet, the very air crackling with their collective energy. Demonic beasts fled in terror, their primal instincts sensing the unstoppable force approaching. Even the wandering martial artists on the eastern prairie were struck with awe and dread, their whispers filling the air with speculation and fear.
Look at that! Is another war starting?
We've barely had any peace, and now it seems war is inevitable.
On the deck of the shuttle, Zane Martell stood steadfast, his gaze fixed on the horizon. His mind buzzed with thoughts of battles to come and the honor of reclaiming his homeland. Yet, a familiar presence broke his reverie.
Zane Martell.
Owen Brooks, his face a mask of reluctance, approached Zane Martell, a question hanging heavy on his lips. The air between them was charged with unspoken words, the tension palpable.
What's on your mind, Owen Brooks? You look troubled.
I wanted to ask about the Tiger Earth Cave.
Zane Martell's eyes narrowed, the mention of the Tiger Earth Cave sparking a mix of intrigue and concern. The questions that had been lurking in the shadows now surged forward, demanding answers. What secrets lay hidden in the depths of the Tiger Earth Cave? What role would it play in the battles to come? As the Dark Wolf Army advanced, these mysteries hung in the air, unanswered and foreboding, a prelude to the trials that awaited them. Owen Brooks's father, Liam Brooke, had been a formidable general for the royal family of the three-tailed spirit foxes. His combat skills matched even the great Gavin Owens's. Liam Brooke's power was said to be well above the 7th stage of the expert level. In a desperate move to protect Gavin Owens and others, Liam Brooke stayed behind, fighting off a horde of enemies. Since that day, no news of him had been heard. His fate remained a mystery. The setting sun painted the sky in hues of red and orange as Owen Brooks approached Zane Martell, his expression a mixture of determination and concern.
You promised me, Zane Martell. You said that if I helped you breach the Godwill sect, you'd take me to the Tiger Earth Cave. Will you keep your word?
Owen Brooks's gaze was intense, betraying his inner turmoil. Despite Zane Martell's current strength and status, and with Gabriel Stone standing guard, Owen Brooks feared Zane Martell might go back on his promise. He knew he would be powerless to enforce it. Zane Martell's lips curled into a confident smirk, a playful glint in his eyes as he addressed Owen Brooks.
Owen Brooks, how could I forget? You helped me when it mattered most. The army is closing in on the border of the Tiger Earth Cave. When the time comes, you'll be there with me. I'll take you to the cave.
Owen Brooks' eyes brightened, a flicker of hope replacing his earlier apprehension. His excitement was palpable as he bowed his head toward Zane Martell, his gratitude evident.
Zane Martell, I was wrong to doubt you. Regardless of whether my father, Liam Brooke, is in the Tiger Earth Cave or not, I acknowledge your strength and leadership.
The loyalty of the Demon Clan was a rare and precious thing. Once earned, their trust and allegiance were unwavering. Owen Brooks's words carried the weight of such loyalty.
Owen Brooks, we're comrades in the Dark Wolf Hall. We share a common goal. There's no need for formalities between us. If you truly wish to repay me, focus on helping us seize control of the Northern Demon Country.
Understood, I won't let you down.
The army soon arrived at the edge of the Tiger Earth Cave. Zane Martell and Owen Brooks broke away from the troop, soaring towards the ominous entrance of the cave. The entrance loomed before them, a gaping black maw, its depths impenetrable to the eye. As Zane Martell stood at the threshold, memories of his past visit flooded back. A year ago, he had been here as a mere disciple of the Five Spirit sect, no more than a martial artist in the intermediate level. Now he was a master of the 6th stage of the advanced level.
As fate would have it.
He sighed inwardly, marveling at how much had changed in such a short time. Stepping into the cave, they were enveloped by darkness so profound it seemed to swallow light itself. Yet for Zane Martell and Owen Brooks, both of the 6th stage, the darkness was no barrier. Guided by Zane Martell's memory, they navigated the labyrinthine passages. A distant roar echoed through the cavern, and soon, the fierce eyes of white tiger demonic beasts, their forms barely discernible in the gloom, glinted with menace.
Get lost. I'm not in the mood for a fight.
Owen Brooks's command, backed by the overwhelming presence of his Bloody Moon Devil Tiger bloodline, sent the tigers scurrying away, their growls turning to whimpers. Finally, they reached a colossal stone door. Zane Martell turned to Owen Brooks, a plan forming in his mind.
This door requires the vital energy and aura of a tiger demon to open. I'll go hunt down a couple of tigers.
He began to turn away, but Owen Brooks stopped him, his expression firm and determined.
No need for that. If it needs a tiger demon's aura, mine will work just fine.
The air grew thick with anticipation. As Owen Brooks prepared to open the door, Zane Martell couldn't help but wonder, what secrets did the Tiger Earth Cave hold? And what had become of Liam Brooke? The massive stone door stood as a silent sentinel, guarding the mysteries within. Would it reveal the fate of Liam Brooke? Or were they venturing into something far more dangerous than they could imagine? As they stood on the brink of discovery, the uncertainty of what lay ahead gnawed at their minds, setting the stage for a confrontation that would test their resolve like never before. As Owen Brooks' body began to emit an eerie black light, a strange connection formed between him and Zane Martell. The energy pulsed and grew, binding the two together. With a shared determination, they took a step forward. Swish. They passed through the ancient stone gate and emerged into a vast, dimly lit square. The scene was eerily familiar to Zane Martell. He had been here before, but now it felt different, more ominous. The iron cages that once imprisoned the mystic corpses had been shattered, and the undead roamed the square aimlessly. As soon as they caught sight of Zane Martell and Owen Brooks, the mystic corpses turned, their eyes glowing with malevolent hunger. They bared their fangs and with guttural roars lunged at the two intruders.
Get lost.
Kill them.
In a flash, Zane Martell unleashed a storm of sword energy, a whirlwind of lethal energy that cut through the mystic corpses, disintegrating them on the spot. At the same time, thick, dark smoke erupted from Owen Brooks' body, engulfing and dissolving the creatures in its path. The power they wielded was immense, and within moments, the majority of the mystic corpses lay destroyed. The few remaining corpses, driven by a primal fear, turned and fled into the shadows. Zane Martell and Owen Brooks did not give chase. Their purpose was clear. They were here to find Owen Brooks' father, Liam Brooke.
Owen Brooks, can you sense your father's aura?
Owen Brooks closed his eyes, concentrating, but shook his head.
No, I can't sense him.
The Demon Clan shared a faint bond, a connection of blood that should have allowed Owen Brooks to locate his father within the same area. Yet there was nothing.
It's okay. Let's keep searching. When I was here last, I didn't get to explore the core area. Maybe your father is there.
Thank you, Zane Martel. I really appreciate it.
As they continued deeper into the cave, Zane Martel's thoughts drifted to the past. He remembered his friends and enemies, those who had walked these paths with him: Rebecca, Brad, Thomas. Each had left an indelible mark on him, but now everything had changed. They made their way to the edge of the Dow-breaking bridge, a narrow, treacherous path leading to the unexplored core region. Zane Martel remembered how they had not ventured beyond this point before.
Owen Brooks, I've never been beyond this bridge. We don't know what's out there, so we need to be careful.
One side of the path clung to a stone wall, while the other dropped into a seemingly endless chasm. The air was cold and the atmosphere heavy with tension. After about 10 minutes, they arrived at a large, foreboding hall. The hall, constructed of raw stone, loomed ahead. Two statues, grotesque and monstrous, stood guard at the entrance. They resembled twisted amalgamations of wolves and tigers. Inside, the hall was dimly lit, casting eerie shadows across the floor. It was empty, save for a strange stone statue in the center. The figure, a middle-aged man with tiger spots on his limbs, sat in a meditative pose. 3 streaks of beard adorned his face. An incense burner with a few smoldering sticks lay at his feet, their fragrant smoke curling into the air.
Is there someone else here?
Zane Martel's frown deepened. He hadn't explored this place before, but it was clear that the Tiger Earth Cave was no place for the living. So who was maintaining this shrine?
Owen Brooks, do you recognize this stone statue?
Owen Brooks stepped closer, scrutinizing the statue, his brow furrowed in confusion.
I don't know him. He has tiger demon traits, but I've never seen anything like this before.
Zane Martel's hopes of finding a clue about Liam Brooke were dashed. He had hoped this statue might provide a lead.
Let's search the area. If there are incense sticks burning, someone must be here, but stay alert.
All right, let's find them.
As they began their search, the questions nagged at their minds. Who was this mysterious figure worshipped in the hall? Was it a clue to Liam Brooks' whereabouts or a harbinger of something more sinister? The tension grew thick as they delved deeper, the uncertainty gnawing at their resolve. With each step, they moved closer to the unknown. What awaited them in the shadows of the Tiger Earth Cave? The answers lay just beyond their reach, promising danger, discovery, and perhaps a reunion that could change everything.